There is fire on the mountain. Run, run, run. Let's watch this particular video before I say anything I want to say. Do not comment if you have not watched the video. Hold on until you watch, because a lot is about to be unfold that will keep Americans, especially the white community. Welcome back to the page. My name is Sonia. If this is the first time you're tuning in, subscribe, like this video, drop me your comments, and lastly, do not forget to share. This is just for educational purposes, right? Not to come here to bash anybody, and this is me giving my honest opinion. Remember, credit belongs to the original creators of every clips and stitches we have in our today's episode. Let's get right into it. Hey!
Mag is getting messy because Candace Owens just attacked Charlie Kirk's widow. And on top of that, she is now just getting super messy about some fight that apparently a billionaire had with Charlie Kirk. I'm going to tell you all about that. And a note, can you believe it? The FBI discovered a manifesto. One problem. They found a manifesto, but explaining himself, looking like he just found out that he got caught. Does anyone understand any of that? I have to tell you, I was going through the responses to this. This is not funny, but the responses. Bro, what? I mean, these responses were all just gold. We found a note from the shooter, and it said that he was going to do it for his beautiful trans girlfriend named Karl Marx. Someone else said, FBI in a lab right now creating the most transgender immigrant Marxist manifesto known to man.
Candace Owens was about just as pissed off as I expected her to be, and I am so happy because she says she is not going to allow these people to misrepresent Charlie's stance on things, especially the last few weeks of his life when he was under such immense pressure. Candace had absolutely nothing but vitriol towards Bibi Netanyahu and says that Jewish backer of Turning Point USA, billionaire Bill Ackman, invited Charlie to his house in the Hamptons over the summer where they were talking about things that were not working out with some of the people that he was having on his stage. And they allegedly offered him money to stop doing this, but he declined. And then shortly after, Bibi Netanyahu extended the last chance invitation to go to Israel, possibly some funding to Turning Point USA, but Charlie declined that as well. And how ironically that Bill Ackman, same billionaire, just so happened to donate $1 million to alleged shooter Tyler Robinson's father for his testimony about his son being the shooter. Now, mind you, Tyler has not confessed to anything. The only thing the police actually have is a group chat between he and his friends joking about how he looks like the shooter in the photos and them joking about turning him in and splitting the reward money. And Candace also has been pointing out all the inconsistencies that we've been seeing, like the gun being disassembled and then reassembled and put into the woods. Now, I know recently Kash Patel says that there is DNA evidence on the towel, but there was some Discord chat about Tyler possibly having to go to this drop-off site for a weapon. So all of that is just extra information. However, just remember that there is no confession, there is no solid evidence. Now, Candace also says she has reached out to multiple sources that she knows are point-blank lying, and she is giving them the opportunity to tell the truth, such as Bill Ackman, and she is basically waiting on them to lie on themselves so she can release her private text messages between her and Charlie to prove these people wrong and out them once and for all. But Candace will be doing part 2 of her farewell to Charlie tomorrow, so can't wait to see what else she has to say. But you guys, if you're still playing into this red, blue, left, right narrative, we need you to wake up and wake up quickly because you're really far behind. So God bless Candace Owens and may God protect her. God bless Charlie and his family, and God bless America.
Anyway, so Bibi Netanyahu and that phone call, what took place was a couple of weeks ago before Charlie lost his life. Charlie was in the Hamptons and he had more than one event, but he had essentially what was staged, an intervention was staged by Bill Ackman because Charlie's rational thoughts about Israel were a no-no. This is not the route that you should be going on. And Charlie was surrounded by his friends. quote unquote friends, Bill Ackman was very upset and threats were made. That is what I am told. And I will tell you that I am very happy for Bill Ackman to dispute this narrative. In fact, he was asked to dispute this narrative. Max Blumenthal went out to him today, and Bill Ackman came back and said, I have receipts I can show you. And he did not provide the receipts. This is not how it went down. I know it went down this way. I'm waiting for one of them to go on record and to say that it didn't go down this way. It was at this time that Bibi Netanyahu was called and Charlie was invited to Israel. This was an under duress situation, I would say, because I've been in these situations before. When I started asking very sensible questions about Israel, as someone who had dedicated her political life to supporting Israel, many times alongside Charlie Kirk, I was met with the very same pressure. And just like Charlie was being invited to Israel, I was invited somewhere else. And when this arrived to me, it felt like a threat. You know, I got to tell you that. It felt like a threat, like not like, hey, come here and we can educate you because you're my friend. More like, this is your last chance. That's how it felt to me. I can't speak to how it felt to Charlie. And I know that Charlie was offered a ton of money in this moment. A ton of money. Bibi would fund it, you know, spend tons of money. And Turning Point, I guess, if it needed to go to a higher level, would have gone to an even higher level than it already was at. And I know for a fact that Charlie denied that funding. That Charlie denied, and what Bibi didn't include there, he declined to go to Israel for, I would describe this as like, you know, re-education camp. You know, we've seen it. You made an uh-oh, but we can help you. You know, we just need you to come out to Auschwitz and take a picture. Yeah. We just need you to come to the Holocaust Museum and take a photo. We just need you to go to Israel and we can make this better. Charlie said no to Bibi. Okay. Bill Ackman, if you would like to dispute that, I would love to hear what you say happened, because our sources and what we have, it's solid. Okay. There were conversations that took place, messages that were sent at that time, and they are solid. So I decided another person that was there, and I am not surprised this person was there. If you've been listening to my show, Seth Dillon, I was going to go out to Seth Dillon, and I decided to message him last night about this Hamptons meeting. And Seth Dillon, who is normally very quick with a response, has not yet been able to respond. I'll show you this text message chain. And I want to be clear, I am not someone who normally publicizes text messages. But my friend was shot in the neck. And I'm just not really in the state right now to be polite when it comes to the answers that I am demanding, okay? This is me out to Seth Dillon last night. I sent him Bill Ackman's tweets because, you know, he tweeted, I feel incredibly privileged to have spent a day and shared a meal with Charlie Kirk this summer. He was a giant of a man. I said, any comment on this one, Seth? He didn't answer last night. This morning I said, need a comment ASAP, please. He didn't answer. Then I followed that up and I said, trying again here, you were present when Ackman lost his mind on Charlie and when Bibi invited him to Israel and Charlie refused. Text messages immediately following this meeting are circulating. I find Ackman's statement, as though the meeting was somehow cordial, to be incredibly disturbing. Are you at all disturbed by that tweet? Do you feel, as I do, that this tweet significantly betrays the defined purpose and mood of his, and I presume your, final meeting with Charlie Kirk? ? He was unable to speak to me, but he did place some frantic calls to Turning Point USA. Yeah. You see, I went out to Seth, but I also went out to two other people who were at this meeting, and nobody is willing to go on record. They're all messaging each other, trying to figure out a coordinated response to say that, no, this was all quite cordial, but no one wants to go on record and describe it as cordial because they know someone's leaking, because someone's got a guilty conscience about what happened at the Hamptons. So I will again put it out there. Seth, Bill Ackman, and to the other individuals who I have not yet named, but who are going to be named later this week, who were at the Hamptons when Charlie was put under pressure, when Bibi Netanyahu called him and invited him to Israel, again, in a move that when it happened to me, and it wasn't by Bibi Netanyahu, felt to me like a laced threat. I am inviting you guys, I will give you my platform, actually, to come clear matters up, to tell us what really happened. Because, I think Charlie was definitely on the brink of changing some of his perspectives. And I can tell you factually, Charlie was praying the rosary. Charlie was going to mass. One of my last conversations with Charlie was me joking with him saying, just make the last step, okay? You are, I said specifically, you're too smart to be a Protestant. Just take the last step, Charlie. And he says, ha ha. He was speaking about Mary. And typically when those steps start taking place, you stop referring to yourself, as I did, as a Judeo-Christian. Again, it is mystifying why, Bibi was out there doing the absolute most to make sure that Charlie was basically remembered as, I would argue, like a Jew, has not been yet mentioned. I didn't hear that. Erica was very clear that Charlie was a Christian, and I believe Charlie obviously was very much a Christian, and that things are not being told truthfully. In fact, I will also call upon, since we're having fun, Turning Point USA to release the audio of what Charlie Kirk, because I was in communication with Charlie at this time, because I knew exactly which donors were pressuring him and why, exactly which people that they were insisting Charlie allowed to speak at his event and why, when Charlie did not necessarily want those people to speak at his event. Okay. I'm calling upon Turning Point to release the footage of what Charlie said to Tucker Carlson before he hit the stage, before, all of that craziness and the response to Tucker Carlson's remarks played out. Charlie was mic'd. Surely Tucker Carlson was mic'd. I know Charlie's mic'd the entire time at those events. So I'm asking for everyone to just release Charlie in his own words. I feel like that's pretty fair, right? Let's stop saying how Charlie felt. And instead, if you're going to hold up the letter, release it in its entirety. Okay? Why don't you release your messages, Bill? I'll release mine. Let's all just be very forthcoming about what took place. In fact, I'm calling upon Tucker Carlson to speak about that. I know what Charlie said to him, and I'm sure Tucker Carlson won't lie about it. What did Charlie say to you? Dave Smith, what did Charlie say to you? What was Charlie? Did he seem like he was treading in the direction? Like, do we feel like what Bibi is saying is honest, a representation of what Charlie was going through? This is what I want. I think that the thing that we need here, sunlight is the best disinfectant. Now, does all of this mean that Bibi Netanyahu and that this somehow proves that Israel was involved in the assassination of Charlie Kirk? No, we have no evidence of that. We can't say that because there is no evidence of that. But I don't like little lies. That's what I will say. Something that I always say in my household is, when there is one lie, there's 20. There's no reason to lie. Bibi could have gone on Fox News and he could have told the truth. He could have said truthfully that Charlie Kirk has always loved Israel. He has always loved Israel as the Holy Land. He's been here many times, and throughout his career, he has been a faithful supporter of Israel. That's not what he said. Okay. He talks about the phone call and didn't give it the proper context. He held up the letter and didn't give it the proper context. And lies by severe omission, I'd like to be very clear, are lies. Lies by severe omission are lies. You're not going to gaslight us and tell us to shut up or call us anti-Semitic for pointing out the fact that Charlie was having a change of heart about the tactics that Israel was using in America, and that he felt when he had left that meeting that he had effectively been blackmailed. Again, my platform is yours, Seth Dillon. My platform is yours, Bill Ackman. So if you want to clarify it, we can do it in front of millions, okay? And I think that that's what people deserve, because everyone has PTSD. We watched Charlie get shot in the throat. That feels a little bit symbolic. It feels like they wanted us to know that his voice was problematic. Again, I don't know who they is. After we take this brief break, we're going to go through the investigation, which seems to have a lot of inconsistencies and holes in it. And we're definitely not yet at the bottom of what in fact took place. But I do know that I severely distrust people who rush to misrepresent things. And it's not a good sign when somebody has to ask you, as Greta Van Susteren asked Bibi Netanyahu in his secondary hit regarding Charlie Kirk's assassination. It's not a good sign if somebody even has to ask if you did have anything to do with the assassination. Doesn't make you a great person, okay? And that's what she asked him. Take a listen.
Before I let you go, I want you to address one thing, and it's just the absurdity of it. Some of the internet rumors that somehow Israel is behind the Charlie Kirk murder, and I don't believe it for 1 second, but I want you to make a statement. It's so absurd.
That's insane. That's insane. Israel also changes the orbit of the moon. Israel pushes the sun. I mean, the whole thing it's not only insane. I think it's so absurd, so stupid, and so ridiculous. You can't believe that people are saying that. They just found the perpetrator. They'll get to the bottom of this. But they go, they have no limits. When you hate Jews, when you hate the Jewish state, you're willing to say anything and promote all these absurd rumors. And by the way, they're willing to kill us all the time. I mean,
Candace Owens was dropping bombs tonight on her most recent episode, Why Are They Lying About Charlie Kirk, revealing that Bill Ackman, one of Charlie's biggest donors, gave the FBI $1 million for a reward to whoever identified the shooter. And now that money is going to the alleged shooter's dad. Watch this.
It's not clear to me is that the story that we were told was that Tyler Robinson allegedly, after speaking with the pastor, his dad turned him in. Bill Ackman, probably $1 million, right? Thanks, Bill. You really cared about Charlie. And that money is now going to the father of this child who, after prayer and speaking to a pastor, they're saying, okay, well, he turned himself in. That we were told he turned himself in. Now we're being told that actually he hasn't confessed. So I'm just wondering, how do you turn yourself in without confessing? Because if I say my kid did it, that's enough for an arrest?
Mike Robinson was being called the father of justice, and we were told that he was involved in law enforcement. But now we know that's actually not true at all. In fact, Matt Robinson operates a family-owned construction company. The Washington County Sheriff's Office even had to issue a statement to clarify, saying Deputy Matt Robinson is not connected or related to the individual apprehended last night. But of course, the media wanted you to think that he was. Now, Candace Owens made many other claims about Bill Ackman on this episode, and he has taken to Twitter to vehemently deny all of them. But he hasn't denied this. I mean, it's totally normal, right? For just a good dad to turn in his son and then get $1 million. As always, I want to hear what you think about all of this down below.
Now, I'm not the biggest fan of Candace Owens, but one thing that I will say regarding the Charlie Kirk situation is Candace Owens is doing the best job, and I don't even think it's intentional, but she's doing the best job of humanizing Charlie Kirk. Her posts and tributes on her Instagram story, and how she's posting pictures of him seemingly being a normal person, fishing. They're in the car singing along, karaoke and dancing and stuff like that. That's making, for a very brief period of time, making me forget all the horrible things that this man has said, right? She's doing a really, really good job of making him seem like a normal person, or just showing the side of him that clearly all of us never saw and won't get the opportunity to see. On the other side, we look at the wife, and it's I think about the wife's first post after her husband was assassinated, and she has this, the first post is, I'm just thinking about the optics. She told someone like, hey, film this. Get the camera out. Don't do it on the iPhone. Get the Canon G6 5555. Like, get the camera out. Walk behind me. Walk on an Air Force 2. And then record me, you know, at his casket. Get a close shot. That's what I'm imagining. And it just seems so performative. So, like, not for real. And then we go to the wife's second post after his death, where she's like, you have no idea the fire that you have just ignited, which I personally took as a threat. I'm like, is there a subliminal message in here? Like, bitch, what are you saying? What are you trying to say without saying? I took it as a threat. And then you have Candace Owens still just posting pictures. Posting pictures. I'm like, damn, like, was Candace in love with Charlie Kirk? Or were they just like close friends? I don't know. I've seen some analysis of it. And some people are like, you know, oh, they really were best friends. Some people are like, Candace is giving side chick. It's kind of given like that scandal type of relationship, you know, with the president and Olivia Pope. But anyways, yeah. And I'm just thinking, you know, going back to the wife, I'm just thinking, if my husband was just assassinated while I was present, professionally, one shot to the neck, one and done, I don't even think I would be posting at all, because I would be scared for my children and I's life. I think I would be like, pack up the house. I'm selling the house. I would have been out of Dodge. No one would know where I'm at, because I'm like, I would just have so many questions. I'm like, you know, if this was a professional hit, which it seemed like a professional hit, it's like, were there more? Are there more people? Is he a part of a group? Like, I would be so nerved up. I wouldn't be able to sleep, because I'm thinking that there's more people. And she's like giving full-blown press conferences and speeches. I don't know. It's a crazy time. It's a crazy time for real. What y'all think?
I appreciate her boldness for this, yes. Apart from appreciating Candace Owens' boldness, I pray that the good Lord keeps protecting her. When we tell you guys to always have good friends as bestie, you said no. A lot is going to happen. A lot will be released that a lot of people will be shocked. You know, I think I said it in one of my clips that you see all of these things, it is not clear. Magas are about to find out the wrong way. I don't know why I'm saying this, but I feel like what is coming will be more hitter. And that is why I did a video yesterday where white people were sending messages to Candy, where they said she have to be careful that Charlie Kirk's unalive is actually a warning to her. Do you get? Like, not like the people are threatening her, like they're trying to make her understand reasons why she have to be very careful, because the people she is dealing with will not rest until they get what they want. And I've been wondering, right? This particular person called Robert Tyler Robertson, was it Tyler Robert? I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. That they said he's the alleged person that unalived Charlie Kirk. Has he used his own mouth to confess this? And if money was sent to his father for turning his son in, allegedly, why was the money sent to his father? Is it to compensate him for the fact that his son created the act, and for the fact, or to compensate him because he is a good father, or to compensate him that the son is going to face the law if money was sent to him? What was the money all about? That is why a lot of things are not cleared here. And if a widow will come out to make a speech about her husband, and instead of mourning her husband, she pulls out a threat, as far as a lot of people are concerned, based on the opinions I've seen online, by saying, you people haven't seen anything yet. All glammed with makeup. What was that all about? If the Orange Man did not really take the unalived of Charlie Kirk serious, I saw an interview and I did a video about it where they personally interviewed him, and he said, you can see now the ballroom. He was so concerned about the ballroom. What did you think? A lot of things is going to be unveiled this season. A lot of people are going to be liberated, and a lot of people are going to be silenced. Let's just watch, fold our arms, and see what they will come up with. This is just my own opinion, and this is just for educational purpose. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Remember, credit belongs to the original creators of every clips and stitch we use in our today's episode. We do not support any form of violence here. We do not support any form of fight here. We are just making things clear. Subscribe, like, comment, and share. And let me know your thoughts. And I'll see you guys in my next one. There is fire on the mountain. Run, run, run. So that the fire will not burn you. Bye, guys. With no further ado, I do like to see more videos. I'm going to be saying bye and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye. I love you guys.